Project. This is the psychiatric self-therapeutic multimedia project to solve the problems, challenges, and obstacles in our lives, as well as a self-improvement process to reach the high goals and ambitions that we have set for ourselves, as well as those around us. If you would like a brief introduction, a brief summary as to how we break down the Ahn Rho Project into domains of life, sub-series, analogies, and so on and so forth, you can check that all in previous live streams for the past 3.5 years, straight to January 2021 and beyond for more updated versions, which includes the copyright-free music. Um, Copyright-free music, how we divvy the live stream into segments, 11 segments across 3 phases in a 15-minute live stream that won't take too much of your time. So that being said, let's dive into the second segment as usual. 3 points, first of all, 2 points really. First one is if you want to skip the introduction, the abridged shortened introduction, just go by about a minute and a half into the stream and then you'll dive right into the phase 2 content. Which is, phase 2. That's what you see, what you get on the screen. We'll get to that moment. And after that, the second point, of course, is this is a solve 8.0 override, standing for system override version 8.0. We use this rule to break all other rules, a system principle to free ourselves from the system completely, and to just stay practical and get done what needs getting done. So that being said, take a look on screen. What you see is what you get. Also in the backdrop on the right hand side, there's some materials. There's some photography of this kind of stuff on the right hand panel. I want to turn away for now and just focus on the assets in front of us, the photographs. So this phase 2, as usual, it has a lot of storytelling, a lot of commentary, photographs, media assets, physical items having to do with finance, workplace, relationships, so on and so forth, inventory, food sometimes. In this case, today we have a lot of equipment and a lot of stuff having to do with work as well as transportation. You see at the very top, that's actually a transit pass. In the middle, we have some scissors, some gloves. We have a recording. If you take a look at the live stream title itself, we're also going to be covering relationships, specifically at the workplace, and colleagues who have been nothing short of family to me. And then meeting with HR, and that's actually covered in one of the screenshots that I just showed you. It's basically like a recording of what was spoken. Again, one-party consent, so this is completely, I'm allowed to do this legally speaking. I'm not doing this with malicious intent. I'm doing this so that I can reflect on how to make myself a better person, because I have a lot of issues that to resolve on my own. So then we have some stuff here to do with philosophy. Once again, has a lot to do with personal issues. And the very top there we have some stuff having to do with security, and some documentation of comments and so on and so forth. At the very middle, you see also some boxes, some crates, and that has a lot to do with just kind of stuff we may use for rollerblades and personal transportation. So let's just dive right into it. Without further ado, this is a collage. I'll show you another collage picture right now, and that's this. This is a full picture of everything that we need to cover today or want to cover. So let's start off with the auto recordings, and today's a little different. Usually when I do the auto recordings, sorry, I blocked out the logo right there. What I tend to do is when it comes to the audio recordings, this is phase 2, segment 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5 different segments. Segment 4 and 5 doing with media assets, and then 5 relationships. So when I talk about segment 4, typically it's a phone recording that I show a screenshot of that, but instead today I'm showing as I've already transferred it over to the laptop on the right hand panel. You can see my hand right there, hello. So I transferred it over to the laptop, so I couldn't take a screenshot. Needless to say, you can see that files here, ARP 893s of particular importance, and 892, so yesterday and today a follow-up. First thing, residency, relationships with the landlord downstairs. Got a hint yesterday that the reason why I don't eat the food from my domestic guardians is because of trust issues. I can't trust them with finance, housing, and they used to be incredibly violent. So I expressed in Cantonese, so Naim, that stands for danger. I just said that in the past, both my biological guardians have been danger to my safety. I didn't express it in that way exactly. I just said that they were a danger, but I didn't say a danger to who. They were dangerous. He was a threat to my livelihood as well as my mother, and my mother was a threat to herself as well, threatened to abandon me. So it was a lot of that kind of stuff. Okay, so moving on. The next thing that so I conveyed that to the residency, so the landlord kind of understands a little bit, has some slight hint or clue. I didn't get any deeper into that. And then we also have the relationships at the workplace, and that ties in a little bit too personally with the domestic affairs as well. So my HR, a fantastic person, MR, apparently, I'm going to abbreviate her name by MR. So we had this about 40-minute conversation, and it turns out, we talked a lot about my negative self-perception and how I'm resigning because I feel as though I really let down all the colleagues at my workplace who have nothing short of brothers and sisters like that, and so on and so forth. And she's trying to convince me that's not the case, that they really need all the help they can get, and they really tried to find someone, but they just couldn't because of COVID-19, all the new regulations. There's just a lot of stuff going on, and even the new person they hired was not up for the job. So it was just very interesting, but most importantly, for me, is just getting this insight because I learned a lot about her too. Obviously, I'm not going to cover that, that's private and confidential. One thing I will say though is apparently my HR manager has experience with CPTSD, as much as I do. So we're kind of on the same boat, rocking with each other. When I talk about hypervigilance, she understands exactly that. Like I completely overstep other people's boundaries and try to take care of other people's duties, even though that's their duty. And then I blame myself for failing it. But I'm overreaching here. That's not my fault. That's not my stuff to take care of. If anything, some people get annoyed when I do that. Other people just kind of take advantage of my kindness when really it's not kindness I'm showing. It's more like hypervigilance. I'm trying to do everything because in my previous life, in my life, really, I have to be the parent in the entire family. And the parent-child dynamic is reversed. I am the child trying to be a parent, whereas my parents act like 5-year-old children. So it's really fucked up, but that's what it was. And my HR manager understood that because she came from, again, she had CPTSD. So it's very interesting understanding this. Like I said, that's about as deep as I'm gonna get into. Again, I haven't revealed anything about her because of confidentiality. So that's kind of very important, right? Because this has helped me resolve. It's like, so someone gets it, and most importantly, someone in management gets it. So after that, what I want to do is, okay, so we're talked about that, and that's basically what this live stream, that was the main point in this entire live stream, because understand that in the past 4 days, I've been trying to get the gifts. Tomorrow, we're going to dive right into it again, but the previous 4 days, we've been trying to get the gifts ready. Today is kind of like an interjection into that. I kind of had to stop because this meeting kind of, you know, stunted that, and solution was proposed that maybe I should take a vacation, take out my vacation, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, and rethink about reconsider whether I want to leave. Now that we've had this conversation, and she understands where I'm coming from, and she has a lot of things she can work with now, a lot of information. She's like, I can sort of be your advocate, and I'm kind of backing away because I'm like, I've seriously done a lot of damage, and she's like, that's okay. Relationships are repairable. That's something I really didn't think, and I still am not giving myself a second chance, but I recognize that I've been harsh on myself. So I'll have to reconsider this. Needless to say, tomorrow we're probably jumping back into gifts. So that being said, that was a long, Jesus, half the stream today is focused on that. We're going to have to blitz through everything, so let's move on to segment 6 now. 4 and 5 finished. That was the main highlight. So Stoic Reflections. As usual, no man was ever wise by chance, by Seneca. Not too much to say about that. Copyright notice, not my stuff. So reflections. We want to cover some inventory. Let's cover some digital stuff first. So this is actually a comment I left on one Story Reflections, one of their posts. And above here, the most important thing is this is like a short snippet of the chain of events or interactions I've had with different people, and following up the learning phase I've learned from each person. So it's like just having a sort of a birthday celebration with one of my ex-colleagues, and then we talked a lot about our past and our troubles and our struggles. And then about 2 days later, on Sunday, it would be a conversation with my cousin, and he's in a much better place and provided me this advice for coming from his perspective of a healthy individual. And then about 2 days later, I would meet the son of my manager at the workplace, of the owner at the workplace, of the boss, and the boss's son. And then we had a conversation, and he allowed me to vent, and then just on and on, right? So I'm just mapping out the sequence of events, the train of events, and all the people and relationships that I have to be incredibly grateful and thankful for helping me improve. And that's what's mapped out here on the left-hand panel. We also have some documentation scanned, and I already mentioned that, so that's kind of what's been documented. Once again, here too is kind of mapping out the chain, but transferring it from the laptop to the device. What I want to cover here are the equipment. So here's some equipment. Wait. Before we get there, I want to cover the fact that also there's been a whole backup thing going on with security. so backing up my documents, and that's some sort of new feature being rolled out. So I don't want to talk too much about that, given that it is security related. But I did have to mention it because it poses something I might have to do. I may have to back up. I found out that it was an auto backup, so maybe I don't have to do anything at all. So moving on here, we have this equipment here. This you can't really see it, but this is actually just Excel documentation of what I had to kind of track in terms of inventory. And there's some boxes, some crates, so that's what this is all about. That directly refers, this Excel document directly refers here, that entry refers to these two do not stack kind of like studs. These are trusses kind of like bent over. It's just cardboard though. And so I took these home from the workplace, and that's because I might be able to build a sort of table, makeshift table out of it, because this triangulation, right, the bent cardboard is a strong foundation. That kind of L-shaped foundation provides good kind of stilts legs for a table support. So that's what that's all about. And then moving on, we have something here, and of course we're going to dive into phase 3 in about 2 minutes, and then we'll show you those stilts in person physically. But also there's some clothing here having to do with the jeans. So once again, I'm trying to get back to regular civilian life. I was really committed to resigning, and what we have here is in the last day, I'm going to be wearing jeans at the workplace, a casual brown kind of country style outfit. And it's just, I'm almost going back to casual. I haven't done this in almost 4 years now. Ever since joining the workplace, I'm making a commitment to becoming stronger. So with that being said, let's move on to the next photography session. So that's also that clothing was in region C4. I'll show you that in a second, again, as we make it into phase 3. But here we have some garbage bags. We did some laundry today, so in fact after this live stream I have to go downstairs and collect the socks and everything, boxers, shirts, whatever's dried up. And I had to basically take that black garbage bag I forgot to renew it after about 2 months, so it's disgusting now. It's all the dirty laundry, and it's right here. So let's get up. Sorry. More inventory. More inventory still. Photography of scissors. I might keep this as a souvenir from the workplace, honestly. Those scissors are very reminiscent. I'll keep it inside my drop leg. And next to it are these gloves. So you see that on the right hand panel. The gloves are basically something I just kind of washed into the washer today. I felt kind of bad about that. I didn't need to keep it. And then finally, oh my god, so much stuff to do today. Come on, I'll have like a minute and a half left. So this is this is the public transportation system that I have to use. I had to purchase a new pass this month, and I had to do it today. Once again, it's all detracting from my ability to get the gifts from my colleagues. I need to work on that. There's so much work to get done for that. I have these gifts that I still have to make the card and write up the letter and everything, and it's not ready yet. So okay, have I covered everything? Finally, Jesus fucking Christ sakes. Oh, and then there's this too. So I have to prepare the next quarterly or the next 3 months, 4 months with folders for the kind of financial purchases of the Metro Pass. Think of like a public transportation system. Let's get up. Well, I mentioned real briefly in the last segment of phase 2 that documentation wise, like I said, inventory here, this is where we tracked everything for the cardboard box, supplier, scissor box, everything like that. But also importantly, fitness, sleep. I actually got up earlier today, but I didn't get enough sleep, so that's not that great. Diet, I still ate too much yesterday, but it's improving. And then finally, we have some politics here from news having to do with the Afghan crisis, so I'm not going to touch too much about that. We need to move into phase 3, and that's not too important, doesn't have too much relevance. So get up. We have 45 seconds. This is stupid. So let's go over to A7, A8, A8, A9. We have the gloves, like I said, as well as these clips. They've been washed and sullied with all sorts of like moisture from the washing machine, so I had to throw it away. Move these over to the side. That's very sad. I intended using it. Moving to region D1, so that's A8, A9. Region D1 and region D3 is the main highlight. Region D1, we have some garbage here, recyclables. I'm gonna toss it out. Same thing here. Some cookies finished up, recyclables. I'm gonna toss the gloves inside the box, take it out to the trash. Same thing with this. Most likely I'll use, like I said, this is a dirty laundry bag, garbage bag, and I swapped it for a new one, which is right here in region B. B5 and B7 down here. So this garbage, in fact, I might just toss all the garbage inside here and fold up the recyclables. But most importantly, right here, 10 seconds left. Do not stack this new box. This bottom box from yesterday. the box here, and this to make the table, and finally clothes for in region C4. I gotta get the laundry now, so we're gonna end the live stream and continues tomorrow morning. Hopefully we can get to the gifts, because I'm really short on time. Tomorrow's kind of like the last day